Hey everybody, it's Eric from Barrel and Hatchet, and thank you for checking out another HatchetCast episode. And today we're going to be talking about painting your rifle. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And also, if you have different ways that you paint your rifle, make sure you comment below, and that way we can all, learn from your experiences. What kind of environment do you live in? What type of stencils do you use? What paint patterns do you like to use? What type of temperates do you paint your rifle for different seasons? It really does help out the entire community to hear your knowledge, and there's a lot of productive feedback and productive commentary that's down there, so make sure you guys go check that out. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about a really cool offer that we have going on, as well as a newsletter sign-up opportunity to be able to get update information about our training schedule. So make sure you guys stick around towards the end of the video, and I'll talk about that for those who are at the end of the video still around. So before I go ahead and get started, thank you so much for checking out this channel, and I'm going to hand it over to Eric, who's out on the range right now.
All right, guys, so painting is only part of the solution. Obviously, you need some other things like natural vegetation that you add into it, but the first step to start off with is actually painting the gun. So what I have done is I have actually hidden a rifle, and we're going to be seeing it from the target's perspective about what it looks like. It's at the shooter, rifle's cleared out, but I have it set up on a tripod, and the tripod itself is actually not painted. It's a 2-vets tripod, but there is the ATAX 3D wrap from Cargical that we have on the gun and 2 legs of the tripod. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where it's at, and we're going to go look for it. But mind you, the rifle is painted. It has that wrap on it, but the tripod is not painted, and it's only about 20 feet away from the road. So we're gonna go ahead and try and see if we can find it. But the biggest thing is, guys, make sure you have other things that you add on. So it's like a layering system. So not only are you painting it, you're adding in hair ties that you can add natural vegetation for your environment, that type of stuff. So picked up a lot of this stuff, honestly, from the snake pit dudes and some other sniper guys who've been doing this for a long time, who've kind of taught me and Roy about different ways to camouflage and how important it is. So it's always about layering and matching what's in your environment. So let's go ahead and try and see if we can find it. We are the target right now. See if we can find anything. Right now we are currently about 20 feet away from the rifle. Let's go ahead and get closer. Still working towards it. We are now about 15 feet away from the rifle. And now we don't have a straight on view of it. It's actually a little bit canted, so we can kind of see a little bit of the side of the rifle. Just keep moving closer. Understand, this is without any natural vegetation, just hiding in the brush. The tripod is still black, but has the ATAX ghillie wrap. So in those 3D packs, or the ghillie wrap packs, you actually get 3 strands, which is nice. So here we are, we're about 7 feet away from the rifle. And here we go. So this is what we're working with here. Have it actually with these 3D ghillie wraps. So I've just wrapped that around. I usually keep it in my chest rig, but I have it wrapped around the rifle. The probably most distinguishing thing is going to be that muzzle device, because it's black. And obviously the back leg of the tripod I had where it was the furthest away, are kind of covered by the shooter. But you guys can kind of see these 3D ghillie wraps are very, very rugged. But adding that and layering this, now imagine this also with added vegetation to this, and if the tripod was painted, you can make this thing become invisible. And if you add a suppressor, now it's really helping increase the difficulty when it comes to trying to find where you're at. But just something to think about. Painting is the very first step, just to kind of break up that shape. So if you can kind of look, there's different types of patterns on there. I have some spray where it kind of fades in, where it's a more distinct color, and then I have a less distinct color. But you guys can kind of see that. I have some scrim on my scope. And the biggest thing is right here, trying to break that up. And probably we'll even maybe add some more, maybe like they have that athletic tape. So like I have here on the tripod, adding that to the top of the scope to link up with the handguard. So there you go. 2-vest tripod, this stuff is awesome and works really, really well. And also you can take it off and put it inside your chest rig. So here we go. I'm actually gonna break this down And so when I break this down, I'm actually gonna take my ghillie wrap off. So all I do is kind of loop it around. And I'll show you, it comes in like one long strand, which is really, really nice to have. And I've even seen guys like cut this up and add it to their ghillie, but it's one long strand, 3D printed, or not 3D printed, but it's laser cut, and it has like this 3D style leafy texture to it. And I just take that, ball it up, and shove it in a pouch. I'm gonna go ahead and take this other one off. But you can use this for all kinds of applications, and it's just a really good tool to have, especially for some sort of expedient type of brush or a veg. It can kind of not replace it, but definitely be a benefit to you to be able to add this to your kit. Okay, so now we're at the process where we're gonna paint. I got Andrew here with me. We're gonna paint his rifle as well. And so usually the first step that you wanna do is you wanna make sure you have like good blues painter's tape, and we're gonna tape off all of the optics or like knobs. So like anywhere there's like numbers, so for dialing and stuff like that, you don't want to obviously paint over that because then you don't have any reference. So you're gonna paint over any glass, you're gonna paint over the muzzle devices, anywhere there's like a charging handle or stuff that can get inside the gun, the mag well, anywhere you don't want paint going, we gotta tape it off. So let's just go ahead and tape it. So something else I will do is I will also have the buttstock all the way in, because anytime I've had paint get on the actual buffer tube, whenever you work that buffer, it gets gunked up and it's just a pain. So like usually I'll just tape that as well. So we kind of did a little bit of a test, you know, just not necessarily like these rifles being camouflaged per se. It does help with some camouflage, but the main point of it is to really make it not have too much contrast when you're out in your environment. So for example, if I'm going to be doing stuff in the woods, I don't want to have a black rifle that is not typically normal in nature contrasting against, you know, these green trees. I want everything to kind of blend in, to kind of break up the normal pattern of shape, and also kind of distort some of those lines. Great thing about the painting thing too is like if you mess up, you can always just paint over it. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to just create a base layer. All right, so I can always reuse my base layer over. For me, I've always used a base layer of tan. So what I want to do whenever I'm spraying, so a good misting spray, where it's similar like, see that? Yep. So good misting spray. A lot of guys get wrapped around the axle how pretty they can make it. Like, the more chaotic it is, the better it's going to be in your environment, right?
It's gonna get messed up anyway.
Yeah. So you want to hit from every type of angle, right?
Got it.
Now I don't do the rubberized portions because I don't want that to get all over my kit. So like I usually won't do like the back of the butt pad or anything like that.
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to break up all those lines. So there's a lot of straight lines on this thing. So if I can kind of create some sort of chaos to distract from those straight lines, that's what I want to try to achieve. All right, the other thing also is when I'm painting, I want to make sure I have colors that are right in my environment. So like I don't want to go, if I'm like in the desert and paint it brown and green, bright green, you know what I'm saying? Like I would like to have whatever my environment is, my temperate. If I'm in a snow area, I don't want to have it dark, right? So I want to have more lighter colors. All right, so here we go. I got some different patterns here that we can use. These are actually primary arms stencils, and they're like rubbery. So like you can use them, and the way that, like over and over again. So it's not like a one-time use. You got tiger stripe here. Here's another tiger stripe. I honestly have been a huge fan of the digital, not because I think digital works. It just has such a crazy pattern that if I use it in certain areas, it'll become more broken up. I feel like it distracts the eye, just can't comprehend it for some reason. So yeah, what I usually will do is I'll do multiple different patterns and kind of mismatch things. And you also want to have where like if you have some this way, do some a different way, so it's not all in the same pattern in the same direction.
Right.
So what I'll do, I'll put a little bit of
this, and we'll do one layer of color. And the more that you missed it, the lighter the shape, the more that you go direct, the harder and harsher the shape of that pattern's gonna be. So do a test one. Here's actually green. I pull that off, see how it has a harsher shape? Biggest thing, don't let it drip. And worst case scenario, if I go too much in one area, I can just go back over it with a base layer of tan. And see how he has where actually some of it is actually kind of getting drippy-ish a little bit on there?
Oh, right there.
Those little splotches is perfectly fine, because guess what? It'll end up, you can either go over top it with another color. So the more colors that we add, the more that it does kind of blend in with the colors we have in nature, because there's so many different shades of color in nature or in that environment. If it's going to be a wooded environment, that it makes sense to have more colors versus just tan and brown. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. So next I'm probably actually going to do tiger stripe.
And then we'll switch to another color.
And just switch to another color, that's correct. There we go, look at that. The other thing also, if you take this and you kind of like rub it on the edges, see like that?
Yeah.
It'll hit on those spots, almost like that Rhodesian brushstroke where they literally just took paint and just rubbed it on it.
Oh yeah, I mean and
that's kind of how that has that look. If it has too much, just smudge it up a little bit. See how that digital kind of like has that like lighter tone to it versus a harsher tone. So like here, do a little dust. See how it's kind of like fadey in almost. So if you look at like multicam, there's like harsh shapes and then you've got faded in shapes too. So now if you look at that, there's like a lot less lines. And then if you want to, for fun's sake, after you go through with all that, then I'll take over top of this.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And then what you do is I just do small blotches, like splotches, almost like a footprint in the sand, where it's just like a little bit of netting. And you can pick whatever color you want from this. So usually I'll kind of break it up with different colors. So I'll do a tiny bit. And this one you got to actually hold if you want a real sharp lines. So like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Look at that happy little snakes.
Yeah, look at that happy little snake.
Let's get.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot some off the tripod, but the biggest thing, guys, is making sure that you increase your survivability by painting your rifle. And I understand, you know, if you have a rifle that is, you know, something that you probably don't expect keeping, then I obviously wouldn't paint it. But if you have something where it's like, hey, this is my forever gun, it definitely is worth painting, and you wanna make sure that your colors match your vegetation in your environment. So, something to consider. You know that painting your rifle is something that you need to do that makes sense for you. So at the end of the day, it goes towards all the steps of becoming an asset. And checking out your environment around your house and your setting will help you dictate what colors and patterns you need to use. All right, so we got a target out at 200 yards, I believe. We'll see. Let's go ahead and just range it real quick. So I do have the SIG Kilo 10. We're gonna be doing a video on this here soon. Rangefinder, actually this is given to us by Big Tex Ordnance. So we've got a video coming out on that. Well, let's go ahead and see what we're ranging at. So the cool thing about this rangefinder is it has the Applied Ballistics app inside of it, which is really, really helpful. All right, so 211 yards. Something else that I can use if I don't wanna go and use something digital, I do have some tools from Black Hill Designs, which allows me to utilize a range card. So I have it stored in my Ghost mat pouch here. I keep it in a little plastic bag like this, and I actually would hold the string in my mouth and be able to range, depending on this little graph here, it'll show me what distance average that target's at. So like I got a man-sized target. So yeah, about 200. So I can use something like this if I don't want to utilize that rangefinder. They've got tons of options. And we're actually talking about doing a whole video series on just ranging. It's something that I'm still really learning. Obviously, you know, in the military realm, range is a huge deal. Obviously trying to figure things out, dropping bombs and stuff like that. But also for snipers and things of that nature who are really good at figuring out ranges, it is just an important skill set to have. Also, once you start shooting long enough, you can kind of usually guesstimate range just off of, you know, constant practice. So I keep it in a Ziploc bag because specifically I will sweat a lot. That gets on my mat pouch and that helps keep my stuff dry. This is just straight up practical shooting, not trying to blend in and stuff like that. But that is something definitely to work on, and something that I'm continuously practicing to get good at is hiding and utilizing my camouflage. So the whole point of painting your rifle is to help you blend in with your environment. So if you're painting your rifle, you obviously want to make sure that you are good at hiding, which means it honestly takes practice to do that. So look at my dope for 200. Here we go. So something else I do, just kind of, it kind of came into play just right now. So gun was kind of just real dry. So inside of my grip, I actually keep these little one-time use lube packets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lube this up a little bit. And I can just use this, get some lube inside my bolt. But the biggest thing is, it really does help having some lubes on standby. And these are great because you can use them. They're easy to shove inside that pistol grip. And I think this one's actually the Viking Tactics Rand CLP, so it's kind of nice. The other thing I also do is I'll keep a spare bolt in my grip, so that way, for whatever reason, if I have a catastrophic failure, I have a spare bolt. And I've actually seen that in class multiple times where students' bolt will break, and I have a spare bolt that they could use for class. So just something to think about. Now, something that I do like trying to do is actually go out to different distances and extend the range that I'm engaging targets at. It's just good to practice. So I'll start at the target and then walk away from it 300, 400, 500, 600 yards. So especially if you're running SPRs or whatever rifle you're running, it's just a good practice to do. And obviously use your kit. The whole point of what our mission set is, obviously, of being, you know, talking about building that culture of men being assets again, being an asset to their family, to their team, to their community, is also to make sure that we normalize just training in gear. That's something that we're very, very big on. So make sure you train in your kit. And you know, there's gonna be tons of people that are hating on you. Oh, you're a LARPer, blah, blah, blah. Fine, let them talk. But guess what? You're getting your training in. So let's go ahead and stretch it back. All right, so I think we're coming up on about 300, but we're gonna test it out and see. Really stretch out this round. I'm actually using 77 grain OTM AAC. So far, I've had great luck with it. Running the Roscoe barrel, SPR barrel. It's fantastic, man. It shoots lights out. I've never seen a barrel that groups more different types of ammo than this barrel. It literally groups so many different types of match grade ammo, it's insane. I'm gonna actually use the rear of my kidney pad as a rear bag. And I wanna say we are probably about 350. So obviously a lot of people say, hey, you know, I spray paint my gun, blah, 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 but you can also spray paint gear. So a lot of sniper buddies and guys who, you know, did that in the service, special operations side and conventional side, they would spray paint their gear all the time. There's all different types of things that like create shine, or fabrics that also have a very specific shine, you know, buckles and metal, things like that. So you can more than welcome to spray paint that type of stuff. We used to spray paint our helmets all the time. And if there was a pattern that I didn't like on a piece of kit, but I liked the bag or I liked the chest rig or whatever, I would just spray paint it. So you can definitely spray paint gear for sure. All right, so 338 yards. There you go. Let's go ahead and ruck back up. Something a good sniper buddy told me is when you're using your scope, putting like hair ties and stuff like that is actually super helpful, so you can attach natural vegetation. I actually used to do rubber bands. The problem with those is I found out that they were like dry rotting and falling off. So like they get like sticky and it just wasn't good. So if you are trying to attach scrim and have something to attach vegetation to your rifle, why don't you go get some hair ties? It's actually a good way to start. We got some good distance now between us and the target. Let's range it real quick. I'm actually curious what distance we are. So laying here in this veg, I gotta make sure I have a natural area to shoot out of. What's cool about this thing also is it will give you your data. So you put in your ammo type, barrel length, all of your data into the applied ballistics calculator, and it will literally spit out what mil hold you need to have. And we tested it, man, it was super, super accurate. We dialed everything and it was super accurate. It even gives you a Kestrel, like their version of a Kestrel that connects the wind to it to also give you your wind hold. Pretty incredible. So right now it says it's 584 yards. And hole 584, so 500 is 3.2, saying a 4.8 hold for 600 yards. So I'm gonna do 4.5 and see what we got. Wind's pushing right to left, so elevation looks good. I just need to hold right edge. Impact. Impact. So anyways, guys, hopefully this painting video kind of gave you a little bit of clarity on something. So I'm going to hand it back to Eric, who's in the studio right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Eric here in the studio, and thank you for checking out that episode. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully you're able to get something out of it and maybe get some ideas about some different equipment, different ways that you want to paint your rifle. At the end of the day, remember, this is all about survivability and also having the knowledge set and the skill sets to be a better asset to your family, to your community, and to your team. So make sure you guys go out and train. Now for that special announcement I was going to talk about at the end of the video, we are offering a lifetime membership opportunity for those who are wanting to do that. So we obviously have a training schedule. We are going to be putting more and more events on that training schedule. As far as looking up what the training schedule is, make sure you sign up for our newsletter link on our website to be able to get a monthly newsletter about up-to-date events, and our training schedule will be posted on that. Also, anything that's coming up in stock or anything that's a special event, we were going to be posting in that newsletter. So make sure you guys go sign up for that. As far as a lifetime membership though, for those who decide to become lifetime members and support Barrel and Hatchet to help, myself, Roy, and Tyler to continue to push and make this channel continue to happen, to continue to push training, continue to push out knowledge like this, obviously that takes funds, and so we're doing kind of a pay it forward program. So for those who are willing to do that and to support the channel in that way, We are honoring you by offering this lifetime membership. And what that does is it allows you 2 free classes a year. The cost of the membership is the same cost as if you bought a 2-day class, so a single 2-day class, or 2 one-day classes. So if you end up, using that, essentially you're paying for 2 single-day classes or a single 2-day class. And what that does is it gets you access to a lifetime members group chat to be able to network, to be able to talk with us directly. There will be live chats we'll be doing with our lifetime members. And also every year you get 2 free single day classes or a free single double day class. You can give that to a friend, you can use it for yourself both times, but you're offered that every year for a lifetime. So we are offering that to members. It helps kickstart Barrel and Hatchet to continue to allow us to do what we're doing. And we only have a certain amount of slots available for people to be able to get. So make sure you head over to the website and check that out. It's a great opportunity for everybody that we've had sign up already has been like, holy smokes, it's a steal. I believe several of our lifetime members have already signed up to use their 2 free class slots for this year. But we have a ton of stuff coming down, collaborations with other YouTubers, tons of collaborations with other instructors, so make sure you guys stay up to date on that. Also, go check out our Instagram channel. We do post a lot of important information on the Instagram channel, as well as we are being very active on our Spotify. So check out our Spotify channel, and also make sure you sign up for the newsletter so that way you guys can come and train with us. We love training with you guys, and also it's super humbling to be able to interact with you and hear your feedback about the channel and have that good fellowship and community time together. So at the end of the day, guys, make sure you train, make sure you are the asset and not the liability, and I will see you on the next one.